to Lift Every Voice. I'm your host, Corey Coco Brother Condry. You know, Monica's with us, and we just going to call this segment, you know, I'm working on me.
That's right.
But he's working on me. Who is he?
Jesus. Twice.
How do you overcome a situation where you're young, a gentleman is in love with you, he kills himself, he shoots himself? How do you get past that? Can you talk about that moment?
Absolutely. I mean, I always say that bullet took 2 lives. That's what I thought at that time. And at 19 years old, that's the way it felt. This is it. It's over. And a couple of days after it all happened, my mind started to slowly play different types of tricks on me. And I realized that the enemy is aware of when you are at your weakest moment. That's the only time he can destroy what God has created. That's the only time. When you're weak, that's just the only time. But, and I say it to anybody that's under the age of about 40. And some over. You know, they say, my mama say, it's old fools and young ones. But the enemy can be who you think is your closest friend. That's the reality that I needed. Because in losing him, there should have been people to come and be there for me and look out for me. And that wasn't the way that it was, but it forced me to do one of the best things that could have ever, I mean, it was the best thing that could have happened to me in that moment, because I learned to fall on my knees, be responsible for who I was, and ask God to forgive me. Once I started to do that on a regular basis, I mean, now my mother has never left my side. She would come to me and she would talk to me and she'd say, Monica, you were reared in the church. How do you lose sight of all that is important? Why is it that you don't know what to do? Because when I would cry, I would say, I don't know what to do. What's the day supposed to be like waking up and he's not there? What's the day supposed to be like when my last memory of him is him taking his life, and the very place that he's buried is where he shot himself, right next to his brother's grave as well. Story is way deeper than what the tabloids will tell you. And that voice of peace started to come within my prayers. My mother would tell me, go in your closet, go in your bathroom. Wherever you go, on bended knee, you'll find that peace and solace that will restore you and will allow you to live another day so that your experience is not one that has taken from you, but it's giving you some things to move forward with. And I hate to see young people say, well, my daddy wasn't there, my friend died, my brother's in jail. But what does that mean for you? What has that given you? And what can you give to the next person? I've just learned to pay it forward. If I've learned something through my experiences, then I tell it to the next person. And I get a lot of young people that say, no, I know Monica, and that's my homegirl, and I feel like her, and I've been like her, and they feel me. But you still get some that say, well, she don't know what it's like to be me. But it's not my place to say what it's like to be you, but it is my sole purpose to give you what he's given me. My life is full because of him. Not because of what I drive, not because of where I live, but because of him. And I think that once I understood that, I mean, I promise you, I thought my life was over. July 18th, even when it comes around now, I feel different on that day. But instead of crying and spending a whole day upset, now I spend it saying thank you. Thank you for restoring me. Thank you for allowing me to see that you put me here for a reason, and until it's my time, and it's the time that only you would call, not me, not by my own hand. That's not the way it's supposed to be. I got a job to do. Now I know.
I think I want this Jesus that you're talking about, because at the beginning of the show we said Monica and her Jesus. Now that we're at the end of it, why should people say yes to this Jesus that you've been talking about?
Because it feels so right.
You all today on Lift Up Your Voice, you have saw a woman who has boldly confessed her faith in Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And we'll do it. Yes. I may be on the show with a whole lot of other people that don't, but that's just what I do.
Yes.
Took me a minute, but that's what I do.
And your imperfections.
Absolutely.
And And you're sitting back saying, he's still working on me.
Oh, no, he's still working on me. I'm still getting my entire household in order and everything amongst me in order. But I know that I can do it because he's right there.
There's one question right now. Will you say yes to this Jesus? And will you let your voice be heard?
Please do.
She's being processed. Maybe you are too. Whatever you do, continue to lift your voice and be heard. Monica, we thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
You all, Monica, right here on Lift Every Voice.